Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
swimming,
basketball,
netball
and athletics,
you'll see this logo.
It's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
And you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
Could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.
Hello and welcome to Bar TV's live coverage of this Round 5 match up here at Cook Square Park between Maitland and Weston. Maitland, of course, coming off their last start, a 5-1 defeat by Broadmeadow Magic up here at home. And Weston beat South Cardiff 2-1 midweek after going behind 1-0 in the first half. And they also took on the Jets Youth last weekend in the only match to go ahead in Round 4 and got a 1-0 win there. So before I hand you over to Blake to have a chat through this match, I'll just go through the team sheets. So for Maitland, number 1, Ben Kelly. Number 2, Justin Broadley. Number 3, Zach Hill. Number 4, Blake Thompson. Number 5, Corey Fletcher. Number 6, Ryan Broadley. Number 7, Matt Comerford. Number 8, Matt Thompson. Number 11, Joel Wood. Number 13, Dennis Fajkovic. And number 17, Alex Reid. And on the bench, number 9, Ben Martin. Number 10, Harry Maguire. Number 23, Matt Stoneham. Number 14, Connor Hayden. And number 12, Jai McKellar. For their opponents today, the Western Workers, number 1, and in goals, Tim Pratt. Number 2, Nathan Morris. Number 3, Robbie Turnbull. Number 4, Brock Oakley. Number 7, Liam Thornton. Number 8, James Money. Number 9, Jake Milstead. Number 10, Gary McDermott. Number 13, Carl Thornton. And number 16, Zach Snedden. And Troy Hearfield, number 25 as well. On the bench for them, Jamie Subat, number 11. Number 19, Wilson Edwards. Number 20, Luke Jennings. And number 24, Paul Clout. Only 4 on the bench there for Western, so I'm thinking we're going to get another one, but it's not on the team sheet. Blake, what are you thinking about this one here today up at Maitland, our first match on Bar TV from Cook Square Park?
Yeah, mate, it's going to be a very good game today, I think. 2 local rivals, and it's the first game between them in 12 years, so I expect it to be very physical and very good. Obviously, Maitland haven't scored a goal yet today in all grades, so they'll be looking for that one. Their first win as well, as you can see over on the scoreboard.
We should speak about that.
Can't actually see the scoreboard, but yeah, the under-23s, Western won 1-0, and under-19s, Western won 2-0.
So 2 tight wins for Western there, Blake. Now, you were at the midweek match between... we had the Adamstown-Hamilton game, but you were at the South Cardiff and Western game. What was the performance like from Western on Wednesday night?
Western were very compact defensively, I guess. They defended really well, and South Cardiff just couldn't break through. They got an early goal after 5 minutes, but then they didn't look like scoring much after that.
Yeah, well, we've seen this year early on in the first few rounds. There's a scoreboard on screen now that Western haven't scored that many goals this year, but they've been very tight defensively. They knocked over the Lambton Jaffers, which was a bit of an upset, you'd say, the players the Jaffers have got. So do you think that's going to be the hallmark of them this year?
Yeah, they've I think they've only scored 4 goals from 4 games. They got 2 wins, both with 2 goals. Had a 0-0 draw with Adamstown, and they lost 1-0 to the Jets. So I think their defence is going to be a big thing this year. Talking to their coach, Trevor Morris, before the season, he said that the defensive lineup was going to be pretty much unchanged unless there was injuries throughout the year. And it was the same as last year as well. So that's one thing that they have in their locker room, the Bears, a good tight defence.
Well, Weston at the moment, Blake up in second spot, after the 4 matches they've played. Of course, they have played 4 matches, 2 wins, a draw and a loss, and 4 goals they've scored and only 3 conceded for 7 points. And then Maitland down in 10th spot, but they've only played 2 games, so I think that's important to look at. The fact that a lot of teams haven't played as many games as each other due to the wet weather, so they've had the 2 games. The draw against South Cardiff, which was a bit disappointing because they led 2-0 at half-time, and then the loss to Maitland up here. What do you think that was? What would you put that down to, that loss, to Broadmeadow in round 2?
I'm not too sure. I wasn't here. I didn't see it. I saw a few of the highlights on the news. I think Dino Fajovic played really well, obviously, to score 4 goals, and a bit of individual brilliance, I guess, won the game for Broadmeadow. But yeah, Maitland will be looking to perform a lot better today defensively, and they've got a good chance. They haven't played in 3 weeks, but they've got a chance to prove themselves today.
Yeah, that's right. And it was their first game at home in the NPL since something like 2003, so you'd sense a few nerves there as well. But Broadmeadow are going to be up there again this year. They're already up the top of the table. What is it? Something they're already on 8 points. Of course, we should speak about that match before, because the players still aren't coming out onto the field yet, even though it's 2:31. They're still over near the dugout or the dressing rooms. Now, yesterday it was a 2-2 draw, Broadmeadow and Lambton. Did you see any of it yesterday?
I didn't, but I have some match facts. Dan Casaroli opened the scoring into the wrong net, so Lambton went ahead 1-0. Mike Finlayson and Peter Haynes then scored for Magic to get them ahead 2-1, and then Riley McNaughton scored the equaliser. It was 2-2 at half-time, and that's the way it finished. No goals in the second half.
That was a really good finish from Riley McNaughton yesterday. He had, last time when we had them up against Weston, he missed a few chances, but it was a really nice finish on the volley to level that one up. So it was 2-2 at half-time and then 2-2 at full-time. So second half was a bit of a arm wrestle, you could say. But definitely it was a test. We saw Magic beat Lambton 2-0 in the FFA Cup, so that must be confidence boosting for the Jaffers, you'd say.
Yeah, definitely. They were a little bit poor in that FFA Cup game. They were a bit flat in the front third, but they looked to have turned it around. Even though they lost 2-1 to Weston out at Bear Park, they still performed really well in that game and should have had the game won by half-time. So they're really turning things around, the Jaffers, and getting back to their grand final winning form. Just something that we should mention before this game kicks off as we see the teams walking out onto the field. Weston win this match today. They go into outright first position. They'll go above Magic, who are 1 point ahead of them.
So that'll be after 5 matches as well, so that'll be interesting. Now, I should say next week is 2015 Girls Football Week, so fantastic initiative from Northern New South Wales. And next week on our halftime show, Blake, we're going to be speaking to some women's football players in the region, and that's going to be exciting, and I think it's great to have this initiative in Northern New South Wales. And we're going to be featuring it on Bar TV, which should be fantastic. So players are on the park now. Weston on the left of screen in their light blue. They look a bit like Charlestown today, Blake, and Maitland in their traditional black and white. Do you know what Maitland's second strip is?
I wouldn't have a clue. I've never seen a second strip.
We'll have to find out when they play Weston at Weston.
It's something we will have to find out.
Now, I should also mention, of course, Maitland losing their coach midweek, Chris Turner going out, Reece Thompson coming in, and we've got Weston coach Darren Sills, who's just popped over. Darren, what's your tip for the match today?
I think that we will go very well in first grade. Look, the other two grades have got up. It's a local derby, the first one since 2002. I think we've got a magnificent chance of making it three out of three for the day. Just spoken to John McKellar. We thought he was playing. He's not. He's on the bench. He's very, very disappointed. So that's another plus for us.
Well, good luck today, Darren, and we'll see you at the end of the match. Great to chat to Darren Sills. He's a real character, isn't he, Blake, at the competition?
Yeah, he definitely is. Doesn't mind a chat with us on Bar TV, which is very nice of him.
So we're almost about to get underway. Two captains in the middle of the ground. Just speaking to the referees. Of course, from Weston, Carl Thornton and Blake Thompson. He's the coach's brother. Reece Thompson, the new Maitland coach's brother. So we will see how they go in their first match under Reece Thompson. What do you think Reece will bring to the side?
I think a lot of positivity. He's a very positive bloke. He knows all the boys very well. He had a good season with Graham Law last year. He was the assistant coach in that new FM winning side. They got promoted, and I think he's been running the training sessions all year from what I've heard. So I don't think it'll be too much different for Maitland under Reece Thompson.
So we're just waiting for the referee's whistle here. And we are underway in the first grade match here up at Cook's Square Park since 2003. And it's already down to the sideline. And Weston are going to go on the attack early on. Runs back towards Blake Thompson, who goes back to Kelly in goals. Puts one down the middle of the park. Of course, the wind today, it's very windy up here at Maitland today. Play a major part in the game, you'd expect. Now coming back here for Troy Herefield. Question for you, Blake. How did Troy Herefield play on Wednesday night? Of course, former A-League player.
Yeah, he's really getting back into it. He's in this deep midfield role, so he's a good link between the defence and the more attacking players. He got that header that won the game for them in the end, so you can say it was a successful match for Troy.
There's Morris going forward, so Weston controlling it early, controlling possession. Oakley going forward and looking for Money. And we've got an early offside against Weston, so free kick going the way of Blake Thompson, who's about, maybe not Blake Thompson's going to take it, it's going to go down the line. It's run over the sideline, so a throw now for Weston, and Brock Oakley's going to take it. Of course, last year Maitland had a fantastic season. They put plenty of goals in the back of the net, 93 goals, and only conceded the 12, averaging almost 4.5 a game and conceding less than 1 a game. So a terrific season it was last year for them, Blake.
Yeah, they were very dominant. They only lost 1 game last year. As we see here, Troy Herefield pick up the game's first yellow card for that challenge on Justin Broadley.
We've already got a little bit of spice in it. Justin Broadley still on the ground. Troy Herefield isn't impressed at all with the card he's been given. Of course, he played for Charlestown last year. Matt Thompson's having a little bit of a chat to him. 2 former Newcastle Jets players going head-to-head today. He's still down. So, first half continues to tick by after that challenge from Troy Herefield, putting Justin Broadley in a little bit of trouble. And last year, Maitland played 11 matches at home and didn't lose 1, so it was a bit disappointing their first match of the year up here. They didn't get the desired result. Well, really, they only lost 1 game the whole year, and that was 4-0 to Valentine in round 10 at Carl Oval. Of course, Valentine leading the new FM division almost halfway through the season there, so stick around for the halftime show. We're going to have a look at all the ladders, including the new FM ladder, so we'll see how those challenges are going.
Yeah, there was a big boost for Valentine yesterday with Late Macquarie losing to Singleton.
I Didn't know that. Gee, that's... here's another challenge. So another free kick going the way of Maitland. But there's a lot of pressure on Lake Macquarie now, isn't there, Blake, to get through? Because they were relegated last year. So Valentine. Have they played this round yet? No?
I wouldn't have a clue. I'm assuming that they'll be playing today. So they'll be hoping to pick up a win and get further ahead of Lake Macquarie.
Yeah, that's interesting. West Wallsend doing very nicely as well. Here's a ball in which has been put over the byline. He was probably running to Tim Pratt in the end. So Maitland now with the corner from the far or left side edge, in front of the scoreboard on that side of the ground. Very nice scoreboard, nice and big. Swung in, looking for Matt Thompson, who almost got ahead to it. Put back in again. Pratt going back, and it's gone over the bar. And it's going to be a goal kick for Tim Pratt. Of course, Joel Wood up front for Maitland today. He's grabbed 2 this year in that game against South Cardiff in round 1. So he's going to be very important to Maitland today, you'd have to say, Blake.
Yeah, definitely 2 first half goals for Maitland in that game that they ended up drawing 2-2. So, yeah, you're right. He will be very important for them today. They'll be hoping that he can fire early in this game like he did in that game.
It's played wide to Money now, looking for the middle of the box. It's well cleared out in the end by Ryan Broadley. And back now to Nathan Morris on the right for Weston. Looking down the line for Money again. And it's not been knocked over the sideline, so a throw again for Weston. Last year, the leading scorer for Maitland was Ben Martin. He's on the bench today. 24 goals in 22 games. Don't get a much better strike rate than that. So we're five and a bit minutes in. It's Maitland 0, Weston 0 here on Bar TV's Match of the Round, the local derby in round 5. As here's Matt Thompson after the ball. Troy Herefield onto him. And Herefield goes down and wins the free kick. So there's going to be somewhat of a ding-dong battle between those two today, you'd have to think. It's coming across the ground now. Here is Carl Thornton. Going down and away. Plays it back for Herefield. And looking wide now for Robbie Turnbull, who's after the ball. Running down towards the byline. He keeps it in. Still with Turnbull. Brings it back and further back now for Nathan Morris. Scored a penalty in there. 2-1 win over South Cardiff midweek.
We're about to see Justin Broadley come back onto the field after Maitland had been playing the last few minutes or so with 10 men after he picked up that knock from Troy Herefield. So Maitland have the whole 11 back out there on the field now.
A somewhat dubious penalty, I was told, that Nathan Morris, he finished it, but it was somewhat dubious, the decision from the referee. That's what I've been told. I wasn't there.
Yeah, there was a bit of a scuffle, and someone went down for Weston, and referee decided that he saw enough evidence to give a penalty. So he was the closest one to it on the field, so he has the best say, obviously, but I couldn't really see. There was a lot of bodies in there, but nevertheless, Nathan Morris did score that one and was the start of the Western Bears comeback at Yillingra Oval on Wednesday night.
So a throw on the far side of the ground for Weston, looking for Money. Turning around, and now it's through for Thompson. Here's a chance for Maitland, puts it through for Wood. What can he do here? He cuts into the 18. Nice ball to Thompson. He plays it back towards Wood, and in the end he couldn't control, and a free kick goes the way of Weston. So, and we're going to have to retake this one, are they? They are. They're going to retake it, Weston. Good attacking play there from Maitland early on there, testing out the Western defence. And Nathan Morris is going to take the free kick. Looks long overs towards Money over there. Turnbull. Bring it back for Oakley. Goes towards Herefield. They've turned it over again. Here's Joel Wood. Down the middle of the ground, playing it wide. And charging after it is Broadley. What can he do? He's cutting in. He goes back to Broadley. And Thornton now heading it away. The other Broadley. Now back towards Reed. Reed has a hit. Just wide from Alex Reed. Testing Weston out earlier, Maitland. They're looking good.
It's actually Matt Comerford over there on that far left-hand side.
Yeah, it's at number 7, isn't it? I got mixed up with the 2. I was going Broadley. 3 Broadleys. There's the 2, Justin Broadley, number 2, and number 6, Ryan Broadley. And Matt Comerford making it hard with his 7 on the far side of the ground here up at Cook Square Park. On top of a hill if you haven't been up here, so it's a nice view down near the Weston, the end Weston is attacking at, over the floodplain. So here goes Thompson, Maitland's captain, looking long and wide towards Matt Thompson, but it runs down. Back now for Thompson. Ricochets off Turnbull, now a long-range effort, going well over the bar, and another goal kick will be the result for Tim Pratt. So Maitland doing most of the attacking early. Blake, what have you thought of the opening 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's been pretty interesting. Maitland seemed to be on top. They've had a few chances. Obviously, we saw Joel Wood get a few runaways down there, and him and Matt Thompson nearly linking up for a shot on target. So it's Maitland on top so far, but as we saw on Wednesday night, Weston have the potential to turn games around very quickly, so they'll have to be aware of that.
Moni after, but it is another offside against Weston, so free kick will go to Maitland. Decent crowd in here at Cook Square Park. The grandstand just to the left of us is totally packed. Not big, but it's packed out. Looking towards the middle of the ground now with Herefield. Was it Thompson flying in? Now a ball down towards Reed, who didn't in the end get to it because it was well defended by Weston. Here they come down towards Reed. Reed placing it in towards Matt Thompson, but Nathan Morris does well with the head. Now for Thornton. Still with Herefield now. Maguire going. Now it's cross for Oakley now for Nathan Morris. Handball against Maitland there. So free kick in a decent position here for Weston. So just over 11 gone. It's Maitland 0, Weston 0 in the local derby up here at Maitland. Round 5 of the NPL here on Bar TV. Morris now going forward towards Moni. And it runs over the byline. Now with Reed across the back to Thompson. Thompson looks central. Now wide towards Reed. Ball down the line. It's going to run towards Joel Wood. Doesn't get a touch on the end. Wood's got the ball. Oh, Tim Pratt, really good save. Dives on the ball. Just stops Joel Wood from sneaking around him and putting in the opening goal. Just trying to go through in my head Weston's matches this year as it's now away with Broadley. Wide for Comerford. That 0-0 draw against Adamstown in round 1. And then the 2-1 win. So they conceded first against the Jaffers. They conceded first against... Here's a ball that's been drifted by the wind wide for Fajkovic. Well defended in the end at the back. Weston doing well. And then, of course, they conceded first against the Jets in South Cardiff. So, if my memory serves me correctly, Blake, Weston haven't scored first in the game all season.
No, they haven't. That definitely sounds right. The other 2 games have been held scoreless. So, you're right. They've had 2 comeback wins. And they will be hoping today that they don't have to do that.
So don't write off Weston if they go behind early here. They're definitely going to give themselves a chance either way. Tom Waller with that goal when the Jets youth knocked them over 1-0 last weekend. It was a sodden pitch, and there wasn't much fast ball movement. The ball just sitting in the grass. Back now.
Yeah, I think the conditions here today, Ben, are complete opposites to that day where it was pouring and the field was extremely waterlogged. And today we've got a good, nice green pitch that hasn't been played on in over 3 weeks, and a nice blue sky out here at Maitland.
Well, I think it's great that they didn't play midweek because it would have chopped up the pitch a bit. Maitland City Council probably made the right decision. And I think one thing that we'll just see what's happening here is the ball away now with Snedden. Snedden looking towards the middle of the ground. He plays a lovely ball, chipped over the top of Kelly and over the top of the goals there from McDermott. She scored the match winner against Lambton and almost put Weston ahead against the run of play there. And one thing we have spoken about off air, Blake, is the decision to close the pitches this early in the season. It's probably a good move because clubs don't want those pitches destroyed so early on in the season. Just wrecks it for later on.
You're not wrong, yeah. Good decisions to call the grounds off. It's frustrating for the players, but they'll get to replay them through the week and maintain the quality of their fields.
Wide ball now looking for Matt Thompson. Controls nicely. Comes infield towards Comerford now. Matt Comerford trying to square it up now with Broadley. Two Broadleys next to each other. Comerford now. He has a shot. Just over the bar. And again, Maitland have a chance. Just going over the top of Tim Pratt's goals, and another goal kick for him. Just the one clean sheet this year for Tim Pratt. They've conceded 1, 1 and 1 in each of their other three.
It's a good sign for Pratt. He only kept one clean sheet. Well, not he. Weston only kept one clean sheet in 2014, so they've already equalled that in 4 matches, and are looking to better it today after 5.
Ball played wide now for Vajkovic. Vajkovic looking down the line. Ricocheted off a Weston boot. Now with Alex Reid. He's going to go down the line in front of us here. With Joel Wood. He holds it up nicely in front of Thornton there, and it's ricocheted off. The Weston captain, Carl Thornton, in a corner. Another one goes the way of the home side. Big crowd down near those marquees down the right end of the ground. On screen now, and it's going to be Broadley to knock it in for Maitland. See if they can create the opening goal. Puts it in, Broadley off the back. Ricochets towards Vajkovic, and it's been given as a goal kick. Which is probably the right decision from the referee. Pratt has done a bit of work today with the goal kicks, hasn't he, Blake?
Yeah, it's a good sign from Maitland. I guess they're not getting shots on target, but they're creating the opportunities. So obviously something that the Magpies and their coach Reece Thompson will want them to do is start getting the shots on target. But yeah, it's positive the amount of attacks that they've had so far against the Bears.
So the goal scorers, we spoke about Joel Wood before, Alex Reid also for Maitland with the 1 goal this year against Broadmeadow Magic. Late goal to bring the score back from 5-0 to 5-1. And for Weston, Rob Macbeth out today, a red card against South Cardiff. And he'll be a decent loss for Weston today. He scored that goal against Lambton. Wasn't spectacular, he just had to finish it after a defensive mistake at the back. So how important is Rob Macbeth to this Western side, Blake?
Yeah, as we saw on Wednesday night, he brings a lot of passion into the side for the Bears. Most of them do, but Rob Macbeth is at the forefront of those players that play with their heart on their sleeve. So he'll be a big loss. I'm assuming that he'll miss more than 1 game. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to clear that up with Coach Trevor Morris tonight, but yeah, definitely a big loss.
Was the send-off for an involvement in a fight, was it? That's what I was told.
Wouldn't really call it a fight. There was a bit of a scuffle on the ground, a bit of push and shove that I think it would be pretty unfair to call it a fight. Definitely deserved a red card though.
As here's Snedden getting bumped off the ball here, and the free kick goes against him. Ref asking them to take it back to Matt Thompson, and Maitland going to play it from the back goes to Thompson now. Looking back and towards Corey Flett and towards Zach Hill, I should say. Down the line for Reed now. Broadly back for Thompson. Looking for Fadjovic, but Thornton does well again. Ball back from Thornton to his brother, Carl Thornton. Goes for a bit of a run now. This is Carl Thornton. Plays it square for Milstead. Milstead. Oh, referee's going to play advantage here. It's now for Comerford.
Joel Wood here on the right. Oh, if he could have got that to him, it would have been a good ball and
Still
would have been
with
away.
Comerford.
But as you said, Ben still with Comerford, but he fires another one over the bar.
He was open there, Joel Wood. If he had got it to him, he was away too. So, bit of a missed opportunity there, and their finishing hasn't been great today, has it, from Maitland? They've put a few over.
No, yeah. As I said before, it's positive they're creating the chances. It's only 20 minutes into the game, so there's still 70 minutes for them to find their rhythm.
Tim Pratt's got a bit of a challenge, kicking the two balls. As he knocks this one up towards halfway, the wind blowing across the other side of the ground. Thompson after it, but it's played down the line now for Turnbull. Goes for a run and now plays in McDermott. McDermott still with the ball coming across the ground now. Playing it back for Turnbull. Turnbull still going down the right for Weston. Playing it for Money. Not a great first touch. And he's going to win a free kick out of it. Sort of lost possession with that first touch. It was a bit heavy, and then Maitland have conceded the foul. So a decent position here for Weston. They haven't had much field position at all in this first half, and they've probably had one of the best chances to open the game with that chip from McDermott. So be interesting to see. That's what happened against the Jaffas, the match we did. Didn't have many chances, but when they got them, they finished them, and I think that's going to be important for them this year. So it's going to be Nathan Morris who's standing over it. Looking towards the back post. Morris whips it in. Oh, Kelly goes up. It's been volleyed wide. The header is in the back of the net, and Weston are claiming it. Referee's given it. And I think it's Troy Hearfield that's put it in. And the away side lead after 21 minutes, Blake.
Yeah, very strange goal that. I thought that first shot was pretty much already out, but it was a lot slower than I thought it was, and it fallen to Hearfield there to head home. Very good header. He wasn't really facing the goal, so he's glanced that one in. Weston have gone ahead 1-0 after 22 minutes. Just around the grounds, we'll get you some score updates today. At Lolcar Oval at the moment, Newcastle Jets 1, Charlestown 1. We see Fadjovic break into the box here with his cross. Low and hard across the goal. Joel Wood couldn't get there, nor could anyone else from Maitland, so the ball's rolled out for a goal kick for the Bears.
Well, there you go. Another goal against the run of play from Weston. Troy Hearfield putting it home. Very scrappy, bouncing around after the free kick. Kelly didn't claim first grab and cleaned into the back of the net. Tim Pratt's going to knock this one up the ground. Broadly back to Thompson. Yet to score a goal today, Maitland. 2-0 in the 19s. They went down 1-0 in the 22s and 1-0 it currently stands halfway through the first half. We're on Bar TV, the match of the round, a local derby between Weston and Maitland. Free kick going the way of Maitland. And Blake, those around the ground scores. What's the story? What's the story so far with those around the ground?
Yeah, the only one I have is, as I said, Charlestown 1, Jets 1 at Charlestown.
So Charlestown 1, Jets 1. It'll be interesting to see if who scored the goal for Charlestown. Scott Smith, of course, so much has been made of that in the pre-season. Kane Goodchild leaving and Scott Smith in the side, but he's done well so far with the 2 goals in the NPL this year.
He also scored about, was it 4 goals in the FFA Cup against Adamstown?
Yeah, I'm
3, I think. 3.
Scored a lot. He had a feast that night. This is Joel Wood now down the left side. It's been pretty good for Maitland early on. I think no, it hasn't. It's going to be a throw to Weston. I thought it might have come off Morris, but it's going to be a throw for Weston, to Brock Oakley. How disappointing is that for Maitland? They had so many chances early on and Weston put in a scrappy one like that.
Very disappointing. I'll need to find something here. Someone's going to have to stand up and start putting some shots on target. I think Maitland will try and do is get Joel Wood into some more space. We've seen Matt Comerford cutting in from that left-hand side and creating some space for himself. I want those opportunities to start falling to someone like Joel Wood. There's also Ben Martin on the bench here next to us.
Hasn't been bad at all, Maitland. It's just it's one of those goals which just sort of go down as a bit scrappy. If you were going to blame anyone, you'd have to say probably Kelly didn't claim the free kick, but there was a lot of pressure on him, players all around him. Well, players all around Kelly when that free kick came in. Sorry if you didn't hear my audio then. I just had to switch my mic back on. So here's with Snedden. Down the line now for Comerford. See what he can do. He's got one of those short plays with a lot of speed. Plays it wide now towards Wood. Wood goes up. Doesn't control very well there. And Milstead now cutting in. Looking wide and looking for Robbie Turnbull to run down that right side. It's running away from him. He keeps it in nicely to Turnbull. Trying to cut into the ground. Still with Turnbull. Playing it back towards Snedden. Back again for Morris. Wide again. Charging after was Oakley. And Maitland have got it back now down the left for Comerford. See if they can break quickly here. Comerford trying to play it. Bit of frustration from Maitland there. Broadly not getting the pass, and it's back now to Tim Pratt. And this is what Weston can do to you, Blake. Score a goal like that after you've dominated, and the frustration just can set in.
Yes, we talked about that before the game, didn't we? About when they went ahead against South Cardiff on Wednesday night. They not shut up shop, but they got a lot more compact at the back, and South Cardiff just couldn't break them down. I assume that Maitland will have some success here today. They've got a lot of firepower in this team, and I think once they find some composure in the middle and front third, they'll have a lot more luck.
Of course, we spoke about earlier that Weston haven't scored first all year, and they've done it today. So, as would happen, they break the trend and get the first time in 2015 that Weston have got the first. And that's the strength of the win there against Tim Pratt, blowing the ball off the mark. But first time this year that Weston have scored the first goal in their match. Of course, Weston played, I was having a look on Bar TV, they played Palm Beach, I think, because of course the Jets Youth finished first. They can't play in the NPL competition where all the NPL winners around the country play off. And they were knocked over, I think it was about 2-0 by Palm Beach. What was the story that night, Blake, for going back a few months?
Oh, I was there and we did call the game, but I can't really remember. I know Palm
Put
Beach.
you on the spot here,
yeah,
sorry.
I know Palm Beach had a few ex NSL players in their side.
Will be interesting
Yeah.
to see. Hopefully, we get to cover that game this year. Whoever wins the NPL, and here's Fajkovic putting in towards Wood. Oh, well done from Thornton, not away yet. And it's away now for Turnbull. We'll see if he can break. Comerford clatters into him, and free kick goes the way of Weston. But that's a good competition to be part of, going up against some of the top sides in Australia. Of course, what is it, Southeast Queensland that Northern New South Wales has to play? Is that the same every year, or is it drawn out of a hat?
Again, I wouldn't have a clue. I'm assuming it's drawn out of a hat. We could get Queensland every year, but yeah, I'm not too sure about that. I'll have to look into it. Maybe I can get back.
Here's Moni cutting into the 18. He's having a shot, and Maitland clear away. Maybe I should go away, do some research, and then I won't have to keep putting you on the spot. Here's Moni now. So it should say Turnbull. Maitland win the ball back. Back now for Thompson. Still on the left. But if you're watching and you're unsure, then you can just check it out on the Northern New South Wales page, or maybe even Wikipedia. They've got a Wikipedia page this year. Do a bit of research for us. And now here's with McDermott playing it wide. Moni goes down. Referee says no, nothing going on there. It's on the left with Maitland. Bring it out. Down the line again. Oh, goes down. And free kick goes the way of Maitland. Challenge there from Brock Oakley. So here, Bar TV, match of the round in round 5. It's Maitland 0, Weston 1 after 30.5 minutes gone in the first half. Now a chance here for Weston down the right side. Very, very wide. Charging away. Puts it into the middle now. And Maitland have controlled it well there through Fajkovic and wins the free kick. Also, I was looking through the leading goal scorers for Maitland last year. Roger Dowdell, he's gone to Adamstown this year. Graham Law, you'd think would have had something to do with that, because leaving from Maitland to go and coach at Adamstown.
Yes, he was. He did score a few goals for Maitland last year. I know a majority of the season he played at right back. I remember one game he scored a hat trick from right back. So he's a very good pickup for Adamstown.
Yeah, 18 goals last year in 23 games, so not a bad record. And Luke Lawless as well. 19 games and 14 goals.
He's also not a part of Maitland's squad anymore. I think he's gone to Beresfield, if memory serves me correctly.
That's a surprise. And know any of the reason behind that, or strange?
I wouldn't have a clue. They've recruited well though, Maitland. There's some big names out here, and we're hoping that they can start to fire for the Magpies and get them back into this game.
Now it's with Comerford. Playing it back towards Broadley and cross now to the right for Blake Thompson. Of course, had a bit of a shocker there, Blake Thompson. It runs over towards the sideline. He's after it. He's going to keep it just inside. Plays it back to Kelly in goals. And wide again. Here come Maitland. Can they create a chance here? They look wide now here on the left. Getting back inside and bringing it back to Broadley. Into the middle for Wood. Just letting him down there, and they get all away. Weston through Morris, but only cleared as far as Broadley. Looks towards the middle again. Broadley again back to And Morris puts it up the middle of the ground. This time it's with Ryan Broadley. Thompson now. Can he look long? He does so. Looks towards Wood, but in the end it was all too easy. Tim Pratt, an easy catch, and another chance from Maitland. Going straight down the Western goalkeeper's throat. I think we spoke earlier about Maitland's 4.5 goals average per game last year. Weston only averaged 1.9, but I think, Blake, it's really hard to put a comparison between the New FM division and the NPL, because New FM's up the top, the top sides are pretty tight, but then down the bottom, yeah, there's some big score lines. Oh, there's a big heavy challenge put on Snedden from Broadley. No card. I'll let you continue, Blake.
I think what you just said there sort of answers the question between the comparison between the two comps. Like, Weston were one of the top sides in the NPL. They scored at 1.9 a game, and Maitland were the top side in the New FM league, and they scored at, what was it, 4 point something goals a game. So I think that's the comparison. It's a lot tighter up in the NPL. Maitland absolutely dominated pretty much everyone they versed. They were put multiple times. They scored 7, 6, 5 goals. A couple of games I remember them putting 8 on Toronto one game. So
I was looking through last night, and there were some 8-0s and 7-1s, and it must be hard as a player, even if you're up by those score lines.
When you look back as well, I know Valentine put about 33 goals on West Wallsend. So Valentine came second, and West Wallsend came last. And you look at last year in the NPL, Lake Macquarie came last and were relegated, and they beat the team that came first. That was the Jets. So it's a lot tighter in the NPL.
Yeah, and I think that's good for Maitland as well, to come up and get that opportunity to see what you can do in this competition. And here's Weston on the attack again. On the edge of the 18th with Milstead. He plays it wide towards Money. Turns Comerford inside and out. And now Money putting it in, not his greatest cross, and it's cleared out towards Brock Oakley. Going down the line, Turnbull. A little bit of skill and a throw going the way of Weston again. Over for Brock Oakley, who's going to throw it in. And Nathan Morris, who's been in the thick of things tonight, this afternoon I should say. Last year when Nathan Morris scored, Weston didn't lose a game, and that continued this year with that penalty scored in the 2-1 win over South Cardiff on Wednesday night. So he's a good luck charm, Nathan Morris, and he put the ball in off the free kick to put the ball into the 18 to give Weston the lead through Troy Hearfield early on in the first half. So he's a quality player for Western, Nathan Morris, and he has been the last few seasons. Back to Ben Kelly in goals. Blake Thompson looking down the line. And well defended in the end by Thornton. Going down is Fadcevic. And
Get him, Nine. Get him off. Get another haircut, mate. Put some more product in.
And Milstead, he's not going to get a card, I don't think. And the referee's whistle's bright yellow, so I sort of saw a flash of yellow. But no free kick, so Milstead with the foul there on Fadcevic. It's knocked in there by Broadley. Pratt going up, going over his head, and it's going to be a corner kick to Maitland. Almost 38 gone. It's Maitland 0, Western 1 here on Bar TV's Match of the Round in round 5.
I think it'll be very positive here for Maitland to get one back before half-time. I think if they can manage that, they'll go into the break on top, in my opinion. It'll give them a lot more confidence coming back out for the second half, and we'll
See what this corner can do, Blake. Has put in. They've had a few today. Here's Wood. Was almost got the head to it, but it was Carl Thornton, the captain, with the header, sending it away. And now it's with Comerford, looking towards Thompson. Were you going to say something there, Blake?
I just was going to mention, as you said, Joel Wood got extremely close to it with the head. It would have been very dangerous if he could have connected, but Carl Thornton standing strong as usual at the back there for Weston.
Ball wide now for Thompson. Blake Thompson looking forward now. Nice ball from Wood. Played 1-2 with Reed, but too much on the touch and rolls over the byline. So the wind sort of going across the ground, but a little bit more with Maitland, and it's affecting their short passing just a little bit too far from Alex Reed there.
Yeah, definitely seems to be blowing towards the scoreboard. It's an extremely strong wind, so we saw a couple of high balls roll over that far sideline in front of us where the cars are, and even that one just sort of, he was trying to hit it left and it curled away down the middle, but there's a header through for James Mooney, but Ben Kelly sweeping well, clears long, and yeah, that one there rolls out. So that strong wind gets a hold of it.
Wonderful work there from Ben Kelly coming out, seeing the danger, and it's one of those moments where if you don't see a chance like that, ball over the top, then there's a chance to go one-on-one, and that's a chance which the striker normally will take. That's going to be Brock Oakley with the throw. Down the line looking for Money. Back to Oakley. Now with Turnbull. Goes to Money. They're finding their passing very nicely here this afternoon, Weston. And just as I say that, the ball runs over the byline and commentators' curse strikes again. So we're within the last 5 minutes of the first half up here at Cook Square Park. The first Bar TV match up here ever in round 5 of the NPL. Thanks for joining us on this nice and warm Sunday. Good to have the sun back around up here at Maitland. Long ball, Thornton with the header down. Only goes as far as Broadley. The other Broadley on a battle here with Herefield. Herefield, in the end, is going to win it because he's going to win a free kick after Comerford flew in. And the goal scorer for this afternoon wins a free kick for the visitors here. Morris again, looking long. Of course, Weston with a lot of firepower off the bench. Jamie Subat scoring 6 goals in 16 games last year for them. And he'll be coming off the bench this afternoon, you'd expect. Came off the bench in their win over Lambton back in round 2. But Maitland also have the firepower with Ben Martin on the bench too, so be interesting to see late in the game. As here's a ball for Reed. Can he get through? No penalty from the referee. No contact really from Weston in the end anyway. Played down the line now towards Thompson. Back for Kelly. Kelly to Thompson. Across to the other side of the ground now. Thompson. Matt Thompson. There's a lot of common names in. We've got Broadley and the Thompsons in this Maitland side. No relation between Matt Thompson and Blake Thompson, though. As here goes Blake Thompson now to Broadley. Ryan Broadley going to Matt Thompson. Matt Thompson now goes back to Broadley. Looks wide to Fajkovic. Fajkovic now. And it's Milstead away now down the left side. Here's Jake Milstead trying to go down the line. He cut inside. Still going Milstead now. Cutting infield. He's still going. What a run this is from Milstead. And in the end, Maitland do the job and have possession up near halfway. Comerford has it nicked off him by Snedden. Herefield now. Across to Oakley. Now Herefield going down. And the free kick goes his way again. He'd have to be one of the most foul players on the field this afternoon, Blake Troy Herefield. But you'd expect that.
Definitely, as I said before the game, he gets the ball a lot there in that linking position in the defensive midfield. Gets it off the fullbacks and then turns and faces forward. He's a good outlet and he's a quality player, so he's always going to get fouled. It's going to happen all year.
Morris with the free kick again, looking long, and Maitland get the free kick out of that one. Of course, next week we should mention on Bar TV we've got a cracker. We've got Edgeworth up against Lambton next Sunday from Jack McLaughlin Oval. So if we haven't got any bad weather, we will be there next Sunday afternoon from 2:20 p.m. live, 2:30 kickoff. Damien Zane's side takes on Dave Tancheski's side in round 6. Should be an interesting battle, that one. Long ball. Morris with the control goes to Herefield. Herefield, they're coming after him again here. Good turn from Troy Herefield. Looks down the field towards one of his men up front, McDermott, but didn't get there. Broadly now, looking wide. Down the left side. Here it is with Matt Comerford. Comerford trying to cut inside Turnbull. Just didn't get the right touch there, and here's Nathan Morris away. Looking towards McDermott. There's space here on the left. If they can exploit it, Milstead. Great work from Fajkovic. Just got in there in time. Snedden goes now to Milstead. Milstead trying to play it to McDermott. In the end, it didn't get there. And it's with Broadley. So both sides turning it over in the midfield as we tick over into stoppage time in the first half. Reed now running back towards him. Thornton knocks it over the sideline. With Broadley again. So you'd expect we haven't had much stoppage time in first halves in recent games. We did have one injury to Justin Broadley.
Yeah, we've had a lot of goal kicks for balls and throw-ins, so I assume there might be the full minute here, maybe even 2.
As here it's across the other side of the ground with Fletcher. Playing it back, and it's been turned over. Turnbull back to Morris. Looking down the line, and going up there is Hiddle. Inside now, Comerford running back towards his own goals. Playing it over towards Thompson. But in the end, it's Maitland now, down the right. Snedden going back to Herefield. Reed's after him. Herefield back to Nathan Morris. Morris to Thornton. Now brings it onto this near side with Liam Thornton. Back to Herefield. Looks long and wide for Brock Oakley. Can he keep it inside the line? He can, Brock Oakley. So maybe a last chance for Weston. It's well defended in the end over there by Fletcher. And it's still with Weston though. That's over the sideline. Throw now for Maitland. So just ticking past a minute and a half and up to 2 minutes of stoppage time in the first half. It's Maitland 0, Weston 1 here on Bar TV's round 5 match of the round. Maitland with the ball in the corner, and that is half-time here at Cook Square Park in match day 5. It's Maitland 0, Weston 1 at half-time. So the visitors with the lead, and they grab that one through Troy Herefield. Now, Blake, do you want to go through your half-time stats and analysis of the first half?
Yeah, Ben, it's been a good first half. I think Maitland were all over West in the first 20 minutes, but they couldn't get any decent shots on target. We had Tim Pratt with that good save from the feet of Joel Wood inside the 6-yard box. Weston took the lead in the 22nd minute through Troy Herefield with a good flicked-on header there at the back post after an off-target shot fell to him. I think the last 25 minutes or so was pretty even. Neither side could really break down the other's defence. I don't think, other than the goal, Ben Kelly was really troubled at all in the first half. So it's been a good game so far, and I think the crowd here at Cook Square Park today will be extremely keen for the second half.
So stick around. We've got the halftime show coming up, and then it'll be the second half action back here with myself and Blake up here at Cook Square Park.
This is for the players. For those that leap into battle in the blink of an eye. For the drivers that compete for their club, no matter where they are. For everyone who has triumphs, tips and tricks to share.
And for those who love to play with complete freedom, this is for the game changers, the innovators. This is for the players. This is PS4.
Real guys, real sport, Bar TV.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. You're welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
Swimming,
basketball,
Netball,
and athletics.
you'll see this logo.
it's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
And you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
Sorry, everyone. We've had problems with the halftime show, so you can catch that one online. That'll be on YouTube as soon as this one finishes. So if you want to see the halftime show where we have a look back at last week's results and a bit of an interview with Gary Kenneth as well, you can catch them on YouTube at the end of the match, along with the post-match interviews with both coaches. Sorry about that, and we'll catch you back for the second half in just a sec. Welcome back to the second half up here at Cook Square Park in this round 5 match between the Maitland Magpies and the Weston Bears. We're almost about to get underway. In the middle of the ground, Maitland are going to kick us off. And it's going to be Joel Wood Matt Thompson standing up. And it looks like we've got a change. He said Harry.
It'll be Harry Maguire on for Justin Broadley, I can imagine.
So Harry Maguire.
Yeah, the substitution is Harry Maguire on and Justin Broadley off. Harry Maguire is number 10 and Broadley was number 2. Just from around the grounds again at half time. From around the ground, sorry. Only have scores from one game, and that was the Jets were up 2-1 against Charlestown at halftime out there at Lolcar Oval. So we're back underway here. Ben Kelly's got the ball at his feet to Corey Fletcher. Bit of pressure here. Troy Heafield wins it, but fouls Fletcher in the process. Corey Fletcher in a bit of pain, holding his left knee. No protest from Heafield. Immediately runs away. Corey Fletcher looks to be in a bit of trouble though.
Wait, Ralphie, leave him alone, mate. He's mediocre at best. Hey, Dougie, help him out. He's still in the sheds.
So I just had to pop off and do something. So we've got an injury here to Fletcher, have we? I didn't actually see what happened. What was the...
Yeah,
there?
I don't know if it was accidental or on purpose, but it looked like Troy Heafield stood on the knee of Corey Fletcher. We've got John McKellar here in front of us warming up, so that could be the second sub of the match for Maitland.
Of course, we don't have the replay machine, Blake, but if anyone wants to go back and check what just happened, just scroll back the little bar while you're watching the video and you can have a look back at anything that's happened during the game. We're also talking late on in the second half about next week's game. We've got Edgeworth versus Lambton next week, and we have got a midweek match in a couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that. That's Charlestown up against South Cardiff, the match we missed last week. So Maitland not happy about that challenge at all on Fletcher. Troy Heafield stamping on the knee. Maybe we'll have to have a look back at that. Maybe the judiciary. Is there a judiciary in the NPL that looks back at Bar TV? Well, there's not actually, would there? Because we only do the one game a week.
Yeah, I think the only punishment is when you get yellow and red carded in the NPL. I don't think it was on purpose. They both looked to be Fletcher on the ground going for the ball, and Heafield was looking to break away and have a shot on goal. So,
well, here's Money coming across the ground. Sits up now for Comerford, and he plays towards Matt Thompson. Heafield comes at him. Money gets it back now. Here's a chance for Weston if they can bring it wide. Snedden looked wide towards Turnbull, but runs over the byline. And Kelly with a goal kick. Ben Kelly now up over halfway. Wind holding it up for Maitland. Now with Wood. Bring it wide now. Turnbull with the header. Taken down by Fletcher. Is there going to be a card? There is going to be a card. And card now for Corey Fletcher. So match just seems to be heating up a little bit here, Blake, in the second half. You're getting warmed up, having something to eat.
Yeah, 4 minutes in. As predicted, it's turning into a bit of a very physical game. Few breaks for yellow cards already and an injury, so expected to get even more fiery towards the end of the half.
It's all happening at the moment up here at Cook Square Park. Cross now to the left. Going down very, very low there was Liam Thornton. Trapped that one with his chest. He's trying to cut inside Alex Reid. Still got the ball and wins a throw. Throw in now to Moni. Pressure from Fadkovic on the far side. McDermott. Well defended in the end by Maitland, but it's only come out as far as Moni. Plays it a Turnbull. It was a one. He was one-on-one with Fletcher if he had it controlled, but in the end, Kelly now rolling it out to Fletcher. Has to take on Snedden down the left. Still with Fletcher towards the sideline. Keeps it in, and there's a free kick going Maitland's way. It's definitely heating up here at Cook Square Park at Maitland. The local derby's alive and well, as it's now with McDermott. Laying it wide, inside to Thompson. Herefield, back towards Oakley, and his ball's just straight across the sideline. And here's a chance for Maitland to go on the attack. Down the middle of the park. And now away from Weston and over the sideline. It's going to be a throw going the way of Maitland, bouncing over to the car park. Down the line now. Reid trying to hold it up, charging through. He's still got the ball back here. So playing it now to not to Wood. It was a way to Harry Maguire, who's just coming to the ground, but it's run over the byline. So a goal kick again for Tim Pratt. Tim Pratt now with the goal kick, looking up. Long and over halfway. Now with Herefield wide to Turnbull. Turnbull wide to Oakley. And his ball in the middle, not going to trouble Kelly at all in goals, and it's going to be another goal kick for him.
Work the shot, Brock. Work the shot.
Definitely the side down this end dominating a lot of the field position. Maitland did so in the first half, and now Weston with that wind going across the ground.
Yeah, it's just died down. I said after 4 minutes it sort of started to heat up, but the last 3 minutes have been extremely slow. Ball going out of the field a few times for some goal kicks and throw-ins and a couple of fouls.
As Herefield goes down and the ref says play on. He says, well, there's no diving here, and now it's with Thompson going across the ground. Herefield went down like a sack of spuds, and referee just waved him away.
How bad is that?
Now with Milstead on the right. The way he went down, one of the funniest things I've heard. Let out a cry, Blake, and referee said, no thanks.
Yeah, can't expect free kicks from that. Just shoulder to shoulder. You can go down all day and you'll never win a free kick there. Back to the action though, we've got Harry Maguire. Oh no. Brawley on the ball. Now back to Zach Hill, out to Corey Fletcher.
Of course, Fletcher with the apparent stamp on the leg. Stamp on the leg is from Herefield, and we've got another yellow card. It's right in front of the dugout, Blake. We can't actually see down.
Yeah, it was Robbie Turnbull. Corey Fletcher went past him pretty easily, and he just took him down.
So Robbie Turnbull goes in the referee's books. We'll see what can happen. It's the opposite side of the field to where Weston grabbed their first goal from, through Troy Herefield. Morris put it into the 18, and he put through a scrappy header into the back of the net, and they got the scoring underway, but we haven't seen anything since then. So here come Maitland through Comerford now, trying to come to the 18, still with Comerford. Comerford unleashes a shot. Goes wide. It sprayed right off the side of his boot. And the goal kick goes the way of Tim Pratt. Decent chance there for Comerford on the angle on the left. Fletcher now. Down and back towards Hill now. Zach Hill. Now with Broadley. Of course, his brother Justin going off. At half-time for Harry Maguire to come on. Is that an attacking move from Hamilton Blake?
Yeah, I guess so. Harry gives a lot of pace and skill up in that top third. I think we saw Justin Broadley go down early in the first half with a knock as well, so he looked like he was struggling with movement in the first half, as we see Brock Oakley here on the ball.
Oakley down the right, very strong. Of course, that injury early on is here's the ball now for McDermott. McDermott goes one-on-one with Kelly, and it's in the... Oh! What's happened there?
Yeah, off the feet of Kelly, and then looked like it was sailing into the side netting, so it's a corner here for the Bears. Good little run there by Gary McDermott. Behind it was Dino Fajovic on that right-hand side, keeping him on. Sorry.
I thought they went into the back of the net, but it's gone around the back and sort of looked like... And Kelly in the end with a wonderful save. Corner from Morris. Well defended in the end by Blake Thompson, but Turnbull now with a long range effort into the side netting. That's going to be Kelly. Going towards Broadley now. Steps on it and goes across the ground towards Blake Thompson now. Thompson playing it forward towards Wood. In the end, he didn't get to it in time. Thompson again winning the header and winning a free kick for Maitland. And the crowd sort of died down. Energy sort of died down. And first half really... couple of chances, but no golden ones. As we've spoken about, the goal for Weston, a bit of a scrappy one. As here goes Comerford. See what he can do. Playing it square across the back. It's good hit. And Tim Pratt with the save. He's been a rock at the back for Weston in the past few seasons, and he proves it again there. 57 minutes into the game, and it's still Weston 1-0 up over Maitland. We've got a score from another ground. Blake, we'll just hang on a sec. Check when this corner will come in. As the ball comes in towards the front stick. Defended well in the end by Weston. And charging on the right side was Milstead. Milstead now plays it on to Money, so a chance for Weston to break here. Nice ball charging after, but Kelly was onto it, and there's another card coming out. This time going the way of Harry Maguire. And have you got a score from the other grounds there, Blake?
At Adamstown Oval, Adamstown versus Edgeworth. Edgeworth have gone ahead 1-0 after a penalty.
So Edgeworth 1-0, and the last score from Charlestown was 1-1.
2-1 at half-time to the Jets was the last score I got from there.
2-1 at half-time to the Jets youth. Because if you haven't heard, the Jets youth won't be playing in the finals this year, so bit of an interesting, very interesting to see what will happen this year with them and how they'll perform. They've started all right, had a tough, very tight loss to the Jaffers, and then have won a couple. Had a draw against South Cardiff, so going all right at the moment, the Jets side. We'll see them in action in a few weeks' time here on Bar TV, and it's going to be a goal kick from Ben Kelly now.
Yeah, I think it's round 7 or 8. We've got them at Magic Park on a Friday night game against Broadmeadow.
Kelly now, about to stand over and knock one up the ground. Yeah, Blake, as I was saying before, really a game with not many golden opportunities. Been a contest, really a midfield battle for most of this game.
Definitely a fair statement. It has been a midfield battle. It's been not a scrappy game, but neither side have really developed any fluency, you could say. We see Troy Heafield with a bit of space in front of him here, plays out to Jake Milstead.
Milstead's going to trying to cut into the 18, but it was well defended. Fadjkovic, he's been really good today. Fadjkovic for Dennis Fadjkovic for Maitland. Of course, his brother Dino, leading scorer so far in the competition, as we see Maitland go down the right here through Joel Wood. Let's see what he can do now. On the right, back to Reed, and Carl Thornton does well with the head. Goes back to Reed, playing it in to what? Oh, good, well defended then by Oakley. Charging through was Wood, and another corner. So Maitland just building the pressure. So it's Harry Maguire running over to take this one. The only sub made in this game. Comes in, he goes very short towards Fadjkovic, and in the end he gets a sliding boot to it, and it balloons up to Tim Pratt in goals. And here's Milstead now, so this is going to be a common occurrence in the back end of the game. Here come Weston, it's wait for Snedden, and again Kelly does well. He's done some great sweeping work today, Blake, but we'll stick with the play here with Turnbull. Still with Turnbull, brings it down to the line. Hill putting the pressure on, it ricochets off Hill and over the byline, and it is going to be a corner kick going the way of Robbie Turnbull's side. He's not going to take it.
It'll be Nathan Morris in charge of all the set pieces for the Bears. Get a number of
So here's Nathan Morris standing over the corner now. Looking near stick. They do well again, Maitland. But it's going to go out towards Herefield. Running down. No, he's going to leave it. Now it's with Milstead. Going towards Money. And here's a chance for Maitland to break. Here's Joel Wood. He's got Alex Reid ahead of him. And still with Wood. And well defended in the end. At the back there by the captain, Thornton. It ricochets to Milstead. Back to Thornton. And towards Money. And now it's with Milstead down the left. He hasn't got much support. He's taken down. Here's another card coming out. Another card into another bit of writing of the referee's book, and it's going to be a free kick going the way of Weston. Nathan Morris again with the free kick. Tell you what, it'd be bad for Weston if Nathan Morris missed a game and have to get someone else to take the free kicks. Here's Morris now looking very central and a little bit too much. Overcooked it, and it bounces one bounce into the arms of Ben Kelly. Here's Comerford going down the left. Thompson now. Down the line. Oakley does well. Back to Kelly. Now with Matt Thompson. Hill now. Goes to Thompson. Herefield with the pressure on him. Now with Oakley. I should say Broadly. Now back for Thornton for Weston. Playing it towards Snedden. Down the line it goes now for Milstead. See if he can put a ball in the middle. He goes to Money. Blake Thompson does well, but only as far as McDermott now. He has Turnbull open on the right now. With Turnbull looking long. Kelly, and over Kelly's head. Another goal kick. Just not much precision today with those balls into the box, has there, Blake?
No, from neither side there. There hasn't been. We haven't seen many shots coming in from crosses, have we? They've been mostly from people from 20 to 25 metres out, and they've rarely been on target. We saw Ryan Broadley's just in the 56th minute that flew towards Tim Pratt's goal that he ended up saving, going out for a corner. But you're right, the precision has been off from the wide areas today from both sides.
Well, let's hope this last 25 minutes is the best of the game, because it's going to have to be, from Maitland's perspective, if they want to get back into this one. Weston with the lead, and they're just sitting back on it at the moment. Breaking when they can. Comerford now. Goes to Maguire. Goes to Thompson now. All over the top, and Oakley puts his boot through it, up down towards Thompson now. Thompson goes forward. He looks for Matt Thompson. Running over towards the sideline, and a throw will go to Liam Thornton. And we've got a substitution now coming the way of Maitland. And it's going to be Connor Hayden coming onto the park.
Jai McKellar, number 14.
So it's going to be Alex Reid coming off. So is it Connor Hayden or is it Jai McKellar? Jai McKellar's come on, so the numbers are wrong in the team sheet we got. Down the line now. Now with Comerford to Thompson now. Looking across the ground. Milstead doesn't get a boot to it. Now it's with Broadley. Bring it back now for Hill. Hill to Broadley. Now with Blake Thompson down the right for Maitland now. Down the line. Maitland trying to cut in here. Chance for them. Evades a few, but in the end, Weston get it back. Now with McDermott. Herefield. Ball up the ground to Money. So just ticking over to 22 minutes here in Bar TV's match of the round here in round 5. Weston still with the lead, 1-0 after first half goal to Troy Herefield. Snedden. Now with Morris down the right. Plays in Oakley. See if he can put one into the middle. Looking for Kelly. Kelly goes up. Oh, AFL style. Takes it nicely above his head. And now trying to send Broadley on a run. Looks for Thompson now, who tries to play in McKellar down the right side.
Be an interesting battle today for Jai McKellar. Obviously transferred, or moved to Maitland in the off-season, was a Western Bear last year.
As now it's with Wood playing it back and across. And Tim Pratt's just going to trot after that one. So making the change from Weston to Maitland. Tim Pratt now knocking it up the ground. Ticking over to 23 minutes. Be interesting to see when Weston put Jamie Subat into the game. Of course, since they are in front, probably less of a reason to do so. And here's a chance now for Weston on the break. McDermott, he scored against the Jaffs. He scored their second goal. And that one's knocked over the sideline at the back from Maitland. And another substitution is being made. And at this time from Weston. So Paul Clout's going to come on for Weston. Coming off the ground, it looks to be Money. So very slowly, as you do when you're in front, Blake, coming to the sideline. Clap from the Weston crowd, and Clout's going to come on. And on the far side of the ground, it's a throw-in for Weston for Thornton. Goes down the line towards Milstead. Milstead down towards the flag. Tries to keep it in. Goes over the byline. And a goal kick now for Kelly in goals. Goes to Thompson. Back for Fajkovic. Now back with Kelly. Brings it wide now to Hill. Hill goes down the left side. And he sends away Fletcher down the left. Here goes Fletcher. And good defence in the end from Oakley. Throwing for Maitland. So a bit of pressure here for Weston to defuse. Comerford now squaring it. Back for Hill. Now for Comerford. Down the left towards Fletcher. Runs over the line, and Weston with the throw-in. So what have you made of this opening half of the second half, Blake? Really another arm wrestle as it's been all afternoon.
Yeah, it's exactly like the last 25 of the first half, so let's hope that the first 20 of the first half is... Sorry, that little break there as we saw Ben Kelly clear. Zach Hill on the ball now to the left to Corey Fletcher. As I was going to say, let's hope that this last 20 is similar to the first 20, where there was a lot of open space and a lot of opportunities and shots on goal.
Yeah, since that goal from Weston, it's really tightened up the game. Ball in the middle, going straight over the byline, and another goal kick will result for Tim Pratt.
Yeah, we've just seen Ben Martin take his jacket off as well. He was the 2013 and 2014 leading goal scorer for the Magpies, so it's a sign of things to come. 3 attacking changes today for Maitland, so extremely positive from new coach Reece Thompson in his first game in charge.
Any reason why he's on the bench today, leading scorer last year?
Oh, I wouldn't really have a clue. You've got Joel Wood out there, and you've got Alex Reid, obviously 2 quality players, so you can't fit all 3 of them. One's got to be on the bench, I guess. So.
Yeah, that's right. So looks like he's just about to come on for Maitland. And running over there is Maguire, so he's going to take the corner. They've definitely had the territory, Maitland, in the second half. They've been down the attacking end, but really not too many clear-cut opportunities as it was in the first half.
Yeah, we're going to see Weston breakaway here. We've got a 2-on-3 with Milstead and Clout. Good chasing back from Zach Hill, and Milstead looking for Clout, but it was Corey Fletcher who got back there and cut out that pass.
Fletcher doing well at the back.
Yeah, ball out for a throw-in for Weston on that far left-hand side, the attacking third.
If they can knock one in, Weston, they'll finish the game. Still no goals for Maitland today. Those other scores, 19's a 2-0 win to Weston and 22's a 1-0 win to Weston. And 1-0 currently here now. Over in the corner through Fajkovic's legs, got stuck in between them, and he wins the free kick for Maitland. And it's going to be Blake Thompson right in the far corner. And another substitution. So it is going to be Ben Martin coming on the ground. And it's Corey Fletcher who's going to come from the ground. Of course, had a slight injury when Troy Hearfield stood on him. So maybe that could be the reason why he's come off. So Blake Thompson now in the corner. Goes long into the breeze towards Hearfield, and free kick going the way of Maitland. So going up the ground here, Maitland, into the last 20 minutes of this one. And Maitland have gone to 3 at the back now, so they're definitely looking for the equaliser. And here it is with Thornton. Thornton looking wide now for Turnbull. Turnbull's going to take it down the right side. Turnbull. Does to turn it. Throw in for Weston, right in front of our commentary position. Another one will go the way of Weston, and Oakley running down to take it. See if they can get one in the middle. Weston still pushing men forward, even though it's only the one. They've got the lead. Oakley looking long. A little bit of a push in the back on McDermott. That's going to be Comerford down the line. His pass only as far as Herefield. Herefield goes to Milstead. Milstead has it taken off in Maguire now. Maguire for Maitland down the middle of the ground. Looking towards Zach Martin, who's just come onto the ground. 24 goals in 22 games last year for Ben Martin. Hill now. Goes to Wood. Wood chance Martin. Rolling it wide, and Tim Pratt just watched it trickle over the byline. See how many chances here, Blake, they can create with Ben Martin out there. First one. Didn't take too long.
Yeah, 15 minutes to go. I think if they can create a few more, I reckon they'll be a good chance of getting a goal here, Maitland.
Back for Fajkovic. Plays in his keeper, Kelly, who controls his... He had a very worrying moment early on in the half. Ball was played back to him, and his clearance under a lot of pressure from Weston. And Maitland last year keeping the 12 clean sheets and only kept scoreless once. Only kept scoreless once in 2014. That was against Valentine.
Yeah, you mentioned before that 4-0 loss was the only time they were kept scoreless, off par in that game, and we didn't see that at all for the rest of the season. Other 23 competition games and 3 finals matches.
Weston have we're going to see a substitution. It's going to be Weston making it. Trevor Morris up at the...
It's going to be Jamie Subat coming on to replace left midfielder Jacob Milstead.
So a late substitution. Subat came on with about 25 to go in the match against Lambton. So definitely the scoreline playing its part in when Jamie Subat is brought on by Weston. Milstead just slowly walking over the sideline now. And Jamie Subat, equal leading goal scorer for Weston last year with Nathan Morris. 6 goals in just the 16 games. Nathan Morris played 17 and grabbed 6, so slightly better strike rate. It's back with Thompson now. Matt Thompson down the line, running down towards Thornton, who lets it run over the byline. What have you thought of Matt Thompson's performance today, Blake?
Nothing special, nothing better than any of the other Maitland players out there. I guess he's done his job for his side. He nearly created a goal for Joel Wood in the first half, but other than that, he's just been another player today, which it's not a bad thing. They need all the players to stand up, not just Matt Thompson. So
trickles wide here for Turnbull. Good foot in there from Hill. Otherwise, it was, well, a big chance for Weston to put another one in. Played wide from Thompson, just didn't find the mark again. Herefield now, turning him around. Thompson after him. Herefield going wide towards Subat, who was offside. And a free kick going the way of Maitland. So, Weston, another stat for them this year. Last year, they only lost the 2 matches at home. Had a great record. And this year, they are yet to lose a game away from home. They're only the 1 loss, and that one at home last week.
Just from around the ground again, Hamilton Olympic are up 4-2 over South Cardiff at South Cardiff, Ewing Grove.
So Hamilton putting in the goals there, and come Maitland down the left, still with Comerford. Calls some handball. Here comes Comerford, still playing it square. Martin back for Thompson. He hits it to and they've cleared it out. Big chance for Maitland. Goes begging, and it's back for Thompson now. Turnbull. And they might rue that one at the end of the match. It's now with Oakley across to Snedden down the left for Weston. Playing it square and into the side netting. Kelly's going to play it on quickly here for Maitland. Going to retake that one. It wasn't outside the 18 there, Clout, and deflected into him. And it's Kelly. So into the final 10. It's here on Bar TV. Round 5 match of the round. It's Maitland 0, Weston 1. McKellar. Back to Fajkovic. And free kick given away there by Jamie Subat.
I can't hear anything you're saying. Can't hear you.
Fajkovic back to Thompson.
All right.
Towards Maguire. He's turned it over now. Playing it forward, McDermott, but Kelly's charged out again. He's done a great job at that. Turned over again, and now it's with Turnbull down the right side. Taken down by Comerford, and Weston win the free kick there.
Got him.
So Morris stepping up for the free kick again from the same position on the same side of the field as he was down the other end when they put in the goal. Looking back post here. It's headed away. Done well there. Maitland now through Maguire, now to Thompson. Thompson away. Ball running down towards McKellar. McKellar after it, but Thornton's also down there. Ricochets off McKellar and over the sideline, and a throw the way of Weston. Great to have your company on this Sunday afternoon from Cook Square Park. Maitland taking on Weston in the match of the round here on Bar TV. And Weston up 1-0, and you've got some scores from around the grounds, Blake.
Yeah, just back to Ulinga Oval. Hamilton have scored their 5th, and it's now 5-2.
So 5-2 there, and the last scores we got from Charlestown's match against the Jets was 2-1 to the Jets, and Adamstown went down 1-0 via a penalty to Edgeworth. So those other games, and 2-2 yesterday between the Magic and the Lambton Jaffers. Down the left now towards Martin. Has to hold it up. Ben Martin squaring and turns it over to Herefield now. Down the line, running down, and another offside against Weston. Free kick going the way of Maitland. Hill's going to take it quickly. Goes to Broadley. Sun setting up here at Maitland. First NPL match the Barty have covered up here. Across the ground now. Towards the middle, headed away. Done well there, McDermott now.
I think we're just seeing the last maybe 10, 12 minutes, Maitland sort of getting back into it. They push on for that equalising goal that they're looking for. They've gone to 3 at the back. So they've got a lot more options in the front 2/3. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Maitland equaliser.
Now with Wood across the ground. Herefield now, they've turned it back over again. And over the sideline. Throw for Maitland. So the last 6 minutes of this round 5 clash. From Thompson. Well, Blake, it really can go one of two ways. Either Weston score the second, or Maitland put one in and we get a grandstand finish. There's Thompson with the long-range shot, and it is just skied it up over the bar, and you heard the groans up here at Maitland.
Yeah, it summed up their day so far. With only 5 minutes to go, so we've played 85 here today. That shot well over the bar. They've created some good chances for themselves, but I think they've only troubled Tim Pratt once or twice in terms of shots.
I'd say it summed up really the whole game. Not many chances taken at all. Tim Pratt made probably a couple of saves, and Ben Kelly with a couple as well. But really, the finishing hasn't been fantastic today. Here's Thompson, wide now, charging after it down to the corner. Taken down was Comerford, and it was Oakley down there. And no card I've seen from the referee just yet. And Maitland, yep, there is going to be a card. So Oakley gets the card. And Weston, and I should say Maitland with a free kick in a very promising position on the field. See if they can put this one in with less than 5 on the clock now. So 85 and a half gone. It's Maitland 0, Weston 1. Put in by Comerford, looking towards the middle of the box. The ball, header. Is it off the line? It's been cleared away by Weston. And now it's away. So Weston, a chance for him to break now. On the left side with Subat. What can Jamie Subat? He's got an unmarked man Snedden on this right side. He didn't look for him, and it's been turned over. So Maitland going to go back down again, see what they can come up with. McKellar to Thompson. Now back to McKellar after it went through Fadjevic, and a throw going the way of Maitland on the far side of the ground. And another change here for Weston. It looks like Snedden's going to come from the ground, and it's going to be Wilson Edwards, of course, the former Jaffa, who's going to come onto the ground, and that's definitely a defensive move from Weston. He was playing right back against the Jaffas.
Yeah, just in saying that, we've got some more scores from around the grounds. The Jets are up 3-1 against Charlestown, and Edgeworth still lead 1-0 thanks to that penalty.
So 3-1. 3-1 the Jets over Charlestown, and Edgeworth with the 1-0 lead over Adamstown. Bit of pressure building on Graham Law, of course, former coach of Maitland, you'd have to say, Blake. They've got the players, they just haven't put in the performances, although they have had some injuries, but they've got a majority of that first lineup back on deck now.
Yeah, I think today they're only missing Stu Mashalik and Roger Dowdell, so they've nearly got their full strength team back.
Well, they are still in the FFA Cup, so
yeah, a good 5-4 win over Charlestown.
If they do get through to playing in the round of 32, they can definitely cause some problems with the players they've got. Gary Kenneth and Roger Dowdell, as we said, and Guy Bates with that stunning free kick the other night. If you haven't seen that, it's on Bar TV. It was a cracker in the last minute to salvage a point for Adamstown. So maybe another one of those required this afternoon against Edgeworth. We tick down to the last 2 minutes of regulation time. Thompson goes back to Kelly. Going to try and push forward here, Maitland. Kelly looking long. Now with Comerford. See what he can do. Still on the ball, Comerford. He's been pretty good this afternoon, Matt Comerford. Ball over the top, looking towards Wood. Lead up the ground. Edwards, he's given away now to Martin. Martin, nice back heel to Fadjevic. So with Edwards. Edwards winning the free kick for Weston. Still that Troy Herefield opener. The only goal this afternoon in this one. Scrappy goal after a Nathan Morris free kick. He headed it home. The back post, and I should say the near stick from the free kicks position, and Tim Pratt with the free kick after Wilson Edwards was taken down. Looking long and towards Subat. And free kick goes to Maitland now. And a reminder, next week on the halftime show, sorry about today, we didn't get it up. Had some technical issues. But next week we'll be chatting, or one of our reporters will be chatting to Chris Turner, the former Maitland coach. So that's going to be very interesting to see everything that's happened in the last few weeks to do with him and Maitland. There's ball down the line after it's McDermott. Thompson does well, sliding in, rolls over the sideline. So only 10 seconds to go in regulation time. Thinking of the regular 3 minutes, Blake, or maybe a bit more. It probably hasn't been as much stoppages in the second half as there was in the first.
No, I'd say there'd just be 2 again, just like the first half. We've seen offside there from Weston's Paul Clout. It's really now or never for Maitland. They need to get the ball forward. They've got a number of bodies up front there.
As now it's to Thompson, looking long. McKellar after it. Weston seemed to have won it down there. Thornton on it, and he's turned it over. So Maitland, maybe a last chance here. Putting it through towards Martin. He didn't get it. And Weston now away with it. Just need to keep it down the other end, and you'd think they would get the win. The 1-0 hold on for the win as Turnbull now takes it over to this right side. Robbie Turnbull. Wilson Edwards calling. He doesn't get it. Herefield. Back now and down the line towards Oakley. Oakley after it, up for the header. Wins it. Hill, and now Clout down to the line. No one in the middle. Clout looking back towards Oakley. Can he have a hit, Brock Oakley? He does so. And he smashed it over the bar. And a goal kick goes the way of Maitland. Kelly over halfway. After the header was Thornton. And here's Subat with space and time ahead of him.
He's got 2-on-2 here.
Well, he's got Cloud inside here. See what he can do. Subat trying to play it back for Herefield. Broadly back to Kelly. And they're just they're in the wrong half to be attacking here, Maitland. So we'll see what they can do. Thompson playing it towards Maguire. They just haven't found their passes today. It's probably been the story of their afternoon. Weston been pretty solid. They've found passes, just not finished. Here's Clout. Kelly comes out, does well again. Running down. Turnbull. And slowly, well, you'd have to say Blake Weston have just controlled possession better than Maitland this afternoon.
Yeah, and I keep saying it. They've done what they did against
Here's
South
a ball
Cardiff.
over the top for Turnbull now. Sorry about that, Blake. Turnbull coming down to the line. He's got Clout back stick, who is unmarked. But he puts it straight to Thompson. It ricochets back to him. Turnbull looking towards Kelly. Punches it wide. And Turnbull getting heckled down there, Blake. But I don't think he should be getting heckled because they've got the lead, Weston. And you'd think that they're going to get the job done.
Yeah, as I said, in the game against South Cardiff, they went a goal up and they really defended well, and that's exactly what they've done here today.
Take it into the corner. And that is full time. So Maitland still yet to get off the mark in the NPL in 2015. And Weston continue their ascent up the ladder, and they're up the top of the table after this one. Even though they have played the 5 matches, so they await to see Magic's catch-up match that they still have to play, and we'll see if they can remain up the top. So the side that finished second last year, Weston, are back at the top of the tree this year. And Blake, you just want to go through those scores from the other grounds.
Yeah, we've haven't had a change in score from Hamilton and Charlestown, so we're assuming Hamilton is still up 5-2 and the Jets are still up 3-1. We've had an update from Adamstown with Edgeworth going ahead 2-0. That's what it finished at full time. Might just run through the round 6 fixtures. Obviously, the match of the round for us will be at Edgeworth, covering the Edgeworth versus Leamington game. There's only one game on Saturday. It's Adamstown versus the home side here today, Maitland, at Adamstown Oval. Hamilton take on the Newcastle Jets Youth at Darling Street Oval. Charlestown versus the winners here today, Weston at Lolcar Oval. And the last game of that round is Broadmeadow versus South Cardiff at Magic Park.
And we've, of course, got the Edgeworth-Lambton match, so that is going to be a cracker. We'll look forward to bringing that one to you. So we're just about to wrap it up here from Cook Square Park in Maitland. It was Maitland 0, Weston 1 at full time, and we will see you next week for Lambton to take on Broadmeadow. For Lambton, I should say, to take on Edgeworth.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
Swimming, basketball,
Netball,
and athletics,
you'll see this logo.
it's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
and you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.
Real guys, real sport. Bar TV.
This is for the players. For those that leap into battle in the blink of an eye. For the drivers that compete for their club, no matter where they are.